I feel like I need to give you guys some good news to work with, and I have some waiting in the wings. This, I think, is kind of funny, though. This is Fox News again. But the title of this is fucking amazing. Bombshell report reveals House Dems plotting to sabotage Trump's agenda. You mean they're not going to go willingly and just cave to everything he wants like a bunch of assholes? Really? What's the plot? Let's hear it.
Welcome back. President-elect Trump is...
I'm sorry, who is Mac? I'm not familiar. Is that a leftover thing from when he worked at McDonald's?
Welcome back. President-elect...
Welcome, Mac.
Trump is expected to meet with House Republicans in Washington this morning. Trump will then head to the White House to meet with President Biden.
Oh, by the way, the Matt Gaetz thing that he did is still more people from the House that he's pulling for his cabinet. He may actually, if we don't already take the House, he may actually give the House to Democrats before he even takes office, because he's picking people out of the House, including Matt Gaetz today. Like, that's, I mean, granted, will somebody less MAGA take his seat? It's hard to say, but it'll be a lot harder for them to maintain that seat as such without him being there, because his father used to, is big in Republican politics. Matt Gaetz' dad is. And so getting somebody else in there that's just like him is probably like the chances are lower.
Trump's visit coming as House Republicans will hold their internal elections today. House Speaker Mike Johnson running for re-election, but some conservative members are considering challenging him for the job.
Yeah, do it. Do it. It was great last time.
As Republicans debate who should be the next speaker, House Democrats are already plotting to sabotage Trump's agenda. Axios reports that Democrats are working to get the money from the Inflation Reduction Act out the door as quickly as possible. Democrats are also pushing the Biden administration.
Okay, right. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's a good idea, Democrats. Get the Inflation Reduction Act money spent and centered on projects as quick as possible. They're not going to rescind it. They're not going to overturn the Inflation Reduction Act anytime soon, because Trump will have to look at turning it backwards doesn't benefit people the way like getting rid of the name does. It's better for him to ignore it, right?
Administration to fast track citizenship and residency paperwork for immigrants.
This is the same shit we went through with DACA at the end of Obama, when everybody was like, you better fix this shit for us, Obama, or we're going to vote in this awful dude. And then they couldn't do it because you have to get it through the House and the Senate. And so they punished Hillary for what Obama couldn't actually materially do. He could only do a temporary fix in DACA. And these assholes have been looking to undermine it ever since. We're in the exact same fucking position. The leverage of the far left is fucking grotesque. If you don't, make something happen that can be taken away with the stroke of a pen, then we're going to give the government to a person who will destroy the rights and privileges of these people. It is, talk about human shields. Holy shit.
Joining me now is New York Congressman Nick Langworthy, as member of the House Oversight, Agriculture and Rules Committees. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. First, on the internal vote in terms of the Speaker of the House, who are you supporting?
Oh, I'm supporting Speaker Johnson for another term. I mean, he has had extraordinary circumstances he's fought under in coming to the speakership. I think he's done a great job, and he's led us back to the majority. And we're ready to get to work with President Trump and pass his America First agenda, the mandate that people gave us in this last election.
Well, how much of that work will be undoing what the Democrats are sabotaging right now? I mean, you just saw the Axios story where Democrats are trying hard to sabotage the Trump agenda before he gets.
Also, fuck you, sabotage, you absolute asshole. Hold on one second. Let's look at the Axios story, shall we? Axios. Let's see. Trump is trying cabinet picks. We'll look at that in a minute. Biden has to work together. Asked Trump to work together on Gaza and hostage ceasefire deal. Gates. Gabbard, Trump's like, that's obviously Marco Rubio, Hegseth. Republicans suddenly feel good about the economy by sentiment. No shit. Okay, Thune. It's Biden. I'm trying to find this. What was the title of this fucking story? I got for me to find it. 1 second.
His America First.
Votes committee. The Biden administration.
Inside House Dems. Okay, there we go. Inside House Dems 11th. That'll find it. There it is. Okay, here we go. This is this shit. Okay. Inside House Dems 11th hour plot. Fuck you. To sabotage Trump's agenda. Strategizing ways to put a damper on the Trump administration's sweeping plans, with their party still retains some control in Washington. While it matters, many Democrats fear full GOP control of Congress, an increasingly likely prospect will allow Trump to roll back many of the gains made under Biden administration. Hakeem Jeffries is telling allies how he's preparing. We Democrats are roll their sleeves, get in defense and protection mode. Camilla Jayapal, Democrat of Washington, a lot of things can be done. We're going to take longer to undo them, and it will force a priority from them on what they need to focus on. She's right, but she's also partly responsible for where we got where we are. The talks mainly involve members of the progressive Black, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific American Equality Caucuses. Ramirez said the conversation center on figuring out what are the things where we have any powers to protect the communities we know will be most harmed as a result of a Donald Trump election, just like I've been talking about here. Rep. Manuel Cleaver, Missouri, confirmed Axios. There are conversations taking place where people are trying to figure out if there are some steps that can be taken that can reduce the damage. It sounds like a plot and sabotage. It sounds like Democrats just trying to protect their constituents from an incoming administration. Hispanic Caucus Chair Nanette Berrigan, in a statement, pointed to immigration policy as a key focus, noting Republicans have promised mass deportations. The president-elect has even admitted that women and children could get caught up in these operations. Will. Dude, he's going to target spouses. Believe me, it will be the least sexist thing he does. He's going to bounce men, women, children alike. Jayapal said one is to propose a raft of executive orders President Biden could issue to protect existing structures, such as shielding career civil servants, Justice Department officials. She also said lawmakers are working on getting funds from the Inflation Reduction Act out the door as quickly as possible. That makes sense. Again, that's not a big deal. The infrastructure law and the CHIPS Act, they're not going to touch. They really aren't. They might reprioritize some of this shit, the infrastructure law, but the Inflation Reduction Act, it's hard to say what they would repeal from that either. They're going to enjoy the spending from it. Again, he ran as Santa Claus. He can't start cutting shit. The only thing he can cut will be from states that he doesn't like before they've started going. So that you need to like put the seed money down in blue states so he doesn't take it back, and he'll leave the money in place for red states. That will be the idea. And then there'll be a lawsuit where state AGs sue the Congress for misappropriation of funds, and that'll be fun as well. Like the CPC chair, Congressional Progressive Caucus said lawmakers want to ensure those funds start creating jobs before Trump finds a way to just send that money to his friends. It makes sense. Democrats also plan to lean on the Biden administration to fast-track citizenship and residency paperwork for immigrants. They're trying to come up with a messaging strategy to bolster Biden's legacy. Trump is going to inherit a good economy to help educate about that reality. Yeah, well, you should have talked more about it when he was actually fucking running. Some Democrats are sensitive to the perception that they are adopting the tactics of Republican state legislators who use supermajorities to kneecap incoming Democratic governors. Boo fuckity who. We're trying to show how the United States is supposed to conduct itself every 4 years when a new person takes over the reins of government. Dude, they don't even give you a full fucking 4 years right now. He's telling them not to approve any judges. Look, when a Democrat gets elected, let's be abundantly clear. When a Democrat gets elected president in the United States, the Republican strategy now is that they are president for 3.5 years max. They will shave off a half of the last year because of the election, whether that person wins or not. They will stop pushing through judges. They will stop certainly any Supreme Court justice that they get to do. So they have shortened the presidency as best they can on every Democrat to 3.5 years maximum. Trump has already said, after the election, stop approving his judges. Well, last time he got elected and the people expected him to fill a full term with everything he wants to do. So if you're going to say that this is an unfair practice, I completely agree. But Trump deserves the exact same thing. As a matter of fact, I think Democrats, especially in the House, should, when you start getting close to the midterms, go, this is a midterm, and we've got a lot of senators up for re-election, so we shouldn't approve judges in the last 6 months of a midterm election. See how they like it. You hear me? Yeah, he put up gates. He's allegedly putting up gates for for Attorney General. I don't see that happening. I don't. I see a lot of people walking and freaking out. I think he thinks it's going to make people quit. I think he's good. Like, everybody with a conscience will quit the DOJ with the idea of Matt being Attorney General. He's counting on it.
Thing can be repealed or reconciled. So, I do think that they are going to use every minute right till the 11th hour. I'm sure that, they will not leave the Oval Office until they are constitutionally mandated to do. But, we have to be prepared to, have our policy agenda in full focus. And I think the president-elect has done a terrific job laying out his cabinet, putting the right people in place so that we are ready to go with an administration. We can get those officials confirmed in past his 100 days agenda when he's ready.
When he's ready, sometime I would presume that would be sometime in the first 100 days that he's ready. I think it's all supposed to happen on day one, and then he just spends the next 99 days golfing, or dividing up the country into fiefdoms, I guess, is the other option.
What about Speaker Mike Johnson's move this week, sending a letter to all of President Biden's cabinet secretaries, directing them to preserve all records, documents, and communications? Johnson is talking about material related to the border, Afghanistan withdrawal, collusion with social media companies, the weaponization of government, and the anti-Semitism on college campuses, Congressman. What do you want to see in the House, and where is this going?
I went to see all of our darkest fantasies about what we think the deep state does, instead of candid conversations about the fuckery you have to deal with when you run a government.
Well, as a member of the House Oversight Committee, I have seen firsthand how the lack of transparency in this Biden administration has been off the chart.
Dude, where's the visitor logs for the entire Trump presidency? The fucking visitor logs. Not even what they talk about. Who went in the fucking building?
Charts. I mean, this is probably the least transparent administration in recent memory.
That's hilarious.
They have stonewalled and obstructed every single step of the way. We saw that.
No, they haven't.
Last year, as we were going through everything with a Hunter situation.
So everything having to do with the president's son, who is not an elected official, that would be everything.
And they have blockaded really every opportunity they've gotten. So this record,
such as.
Preservation is critical. It's the law, frankly. That's the most important factor here. But we need to be able to unwind exactly what happened these last 4 years.
Yes, you'll find a bunch. You know what you'll do? You'll find a flip book of you pulling your head out of your ass in cartoon form.
Led to the Afghanistan withdrawal that they haven't been honest with. I mean, we saw during the campaign just how dishonest they were every single step of the way.
No, you didn't. He's literally nominated Matt Gaetz for AG. No. Every warning they gave was absolutely right. Tulsi Gabbard is a former cult leader and a former Democrat who now allegedly, but by the way, is a student of, at the very least, and an agent of Vladimir Putin at the most, who's going to be allegedly going to be the DNI. The fuck are you talking about? No one, if anything, they were too kind.
I mean, cooking the books on jobs numbers, going.
They didn't cook the books on jobs numbers. If the jobs numbers had actually been lower by that amount every month, we would have started seeing a lowering of interest rates. It actually would have benefited the Biden administration if the numbers were closer to reality. But they don't control the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They just reference them.
Every single metric that they were able to use on crime statistics, they lied.
Bullshit.
Misled people. These are things that we need to get the full story.
Yes, you do. Get the full story, man. Let's hear it. I'm for it. Roll up your fucking sleeves, and I want you to sit in a fucking committee hearing and try to parse people's text messages about really sticky issues to make them look bad. When you finally get down to the numbers, you're like, oh yeah, crime did go down. Oh shit. All right. Well, what are you gonna say? I mean, classification. I would have classified this a little differently. I think these fucking commies. Like, go for it, dude. Have your fucking hearings. It'll be a circle jerk. Knock yourself the fuck out. Anything not to legislate, because that's what these motherfuckers are going to do. They're going to have all these committees like, we got to get to the bottom of and hold accountable the, oh, there's nothing here.
Because otherwise, it's really tough to lead going forward when you don't know where we've been for the last 4 years. And we need.
Why? Why? Why would it be hard? What do you mean where we've been? You mean the delusion that you've had? I gotta know if I'm insane. So your policies will only work if you're convinced that there was a conspiracy to stop you from winning.
Need to use our full oversight authority to go through that information.
Yeah, it's a good.
What a fucking dweeb, dude. By the way, a moment of silence for Fox and kind of the turd polishing that they're going to have to do, and then these like third tier Republicans they're going to have to start boosting.
Point, because for so long we were hearing from the Democrats about how great job creation is until they quietly changed it, and Bureau of Labor Statistics comes out and says, well, 818,000 jobs were actually non-existent. Same with crime. For a little while we're hearing, oh, crime.
No, not how it works at all. These jobs didn't exist. They just didn't turn into long-lasting jobs. They were supposed to be permanent employment, or they weren't, or they were part-time and they were listed as something else. And when they were seasonal and they lowered them, and this is an average, they lower these numbers month by month or raise them month by month anyways. And still, without those numbers, Biden's job growth trounces, even without the COVID recovery jobs, trounces Trump's, period. And it will next time. As a matter of fact, the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, will by itself, if Trump follows it, raise unemployment at least 2 points. By its fucking self. You understand me?
Is down. Yeah, don't believe.
By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks. I'm not going to forget to say those things. I gotta.
Your own eyes. And then, of course, quietly, they revised it and said, no, crime is actually up.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No. None of that is true. This is the exact kind of lie that they're selling. Like, the idea that it takes longer to get the numbers from big cities versus small, like, red districts, and that crime is down if you don't count the big cities overall in the nation, because most people live in cities, while it's up in red districts but down in Democratic areas. And they're like, see, crime is up. Not in the big cities, motherfucker. It's up in Bakersfield. It's up in like Indiana and the fucking rural areas. It's up in West Virginia. It's up in Tennessee.
I'd like to. Will the public know what you find out when you find when you actually get these documents?
Yeah, it'll be completely transparent. Don't worry about it. Maria, I don't even know why you asked that question. Why would you have to fucking ask? Why would you even ask that? Of course they're gonna show all their work, Maria. When have they not?
And will you be getting them, do you think?
Well, I think this is records preservation going into the end of this administration, into the next. The good news is we keep the gavels. We have the full investigative authority. We can't be stonewalled by Democrats. We can't be stonewalled in the Senate by Democrats anymore. We have a mandate from the people under President Trump's leadership.
Nope.
That we will, put an agenda forward and get things done. But that also includes a very important look back as to what has gone on in this country.
This is what happens when you have somebody who has no idea what to do going forward. No idea whatsoever. He has no idea what you have to understand. This guy is a Trump lackey, and he's like, fuck, what healthcare plan? The fuck is he going to replace Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid and the ACA with? And how the fuck what do you mean? How do you change the tax code to eliminate no tax on tips? And what the fuck are these tariffs going to do to my district? He's a New York Republican. He has no fucking idea what the plan is. These big broad strokes aren't going to be shit. When you have to actually craft the legislation in committee, put it in a bill, get it passed. This asshole has no idea what this is going to look like. They're going to start rounding up people in his district, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! We need those people to flip burgers." And like, tough shit, motherfucker. You know, you're first on the list because your sheriff is on our side.
For the last 4 years that we don't know about, that they've hidden from Congress, and getting the.
Yeah, it's all a big secret. Yep. Yeah, they've been keeping it secret from you, and you know, everything would be better if they just weren't able to hide things from you. The numbers can't be good like this. They have to be bad, and if they aren't, we'll make them look bad, so that our numbers, when they suck, we can go, well, they're just kind of, it's like a wash.
Those answers is critical to going forward and putting an optimistic future in place.
It doesn't appear that Judge Juan Merchan is seeing it that way. The New York judge is delaying a ruling on whether to toss out Trump's criminal conviction in the hush money case. He's delaying it till next week. Trump lawyers are demanding the case be dismissed entirely because he is now president-elect. Congressman, is it?
Yeah, but who gives a shit? Why should that apply? Do you become less of a criminal because you get elected to office? I mean, you can worry that you could say the sentence has to be handled differently because you're president. He'd give him 4 years of community service, and if he doesn't live up to it, he can do some jail time at the end of it. How about that?
Possible that this judge delays this sentencing until after the 4 years that Trump will serve in office?
I mean, I suppose I have, very low expectations for Judge Merchan. This should be thrown out entirely. It's impossible.
Based on what standard? Based on what standard? Why should it be thrown out entirely? I don't want to hear malicious prosecution. Give me the details as to why those jury members who heard those charges ruled wrongly.
To move ahead with this case. I mean, frankly, Kathy Hochul should pardon President Trump from these charges.
Yeah, I've heard that a bunch too. Fuck off.
And get on with the business of the American people. The American people clearly don't care about this case.
Why wouldn't? Here's the thing too. Why wouldn't the New York governor just keep that fucking leverage? I guess she could do it, right? Work with me on this. Think this through. Merchan punts the sentence until after he's no longer president, because while he is guilty and he has committed a crime, he cannot serve it while he's president of the United States, and that will be done based on his behavior during his time in office and this kind of thing. And Hochul could pardon him. Why would she do it right out of the gate? Art of the deal being what it is, if she's got any leverage at all, she's going to need it if something bad happens to the state, God forbid. Whether it's weather or terrorism or they just fucking need a new stadium, I don't know, and they need federal funds for it. They need some pork. She's got that in her hip pocket, man. She could cut him loose from that shit. Why would she let it go? She could sit on it. She could go, it's under review, and then never talk about it again. Let him fucking sweat it. Who cares?
No other American ever would have been prosecuted in this manner. I mean, this
bullshit. Other people were. He should have been prosecuted for a lot more. Every other American wouldn't have skated like this. Ask Martha Stewart. Ask Bernie Madoff. Ask Michael Cohen or Weisselberg.
This is lawfare at its very worst. They weaponized the legal system in the city of New York, in the
all right, just gibberish.
State of New York. And Kathy Hochul should do the right thing and make this pardon in place so that President Trump can really get to work for the people of New York and the people of the whole country, for that matter.
All right,
Sorry, he can't work if he's got this hanging over his head. Maybe he shouldn't have committed the crime in the first place. I think would be the key. That's the clear part. Hold on.
Stop breaking the law, asshole! Butthole!
Right.
We'll be watching all of this. Thanks for.
Again, how did these nudges all get elected as Republicans? I thought they were like the alpha male party. This guy looks like Fletch's attorney, his ex-wife's attorney in Fletch. Arnold R. Pants, Esquire, attorney for the former Mrs. Irwin Fletcher.
Moon River.
if some payment isn't made, I'm going to have to contact your paper, garnish your wages. Well, we can't have my pages garnished now, can we? Tell you what, cash, I'm impressed. Saw my pimp today. Open your raincoat. It's worth it. Here. Keep the rest until next time. Go out and get yourself a nice piece of ass. I don't know why all these, there's this alpha male myth about the Republican Party, and they're the biggest pile of fucking bully dweebs you've ever seen in your fucking life. Yeah. So.
You using the whole fist, Doc?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. So, also, hit the like and subscribe if you would.